Now, anybody who's been involved with cryptocurrency for more than, say, 3 months now knows that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general is very volatile, which is why we recently just saw Bitcoin have a major rally as well. But the real question that investors are trying to solve here has to do with, is Bitcoin a real inflationary hedge? And if not, what value does Bitcoin actually provide? The simple answer is you have a limited supply of Bitcoin. So if more and more people want to own Bitcoin, the value of Bitcoin will rise as long as more people want to own Bitcoin tomorrow than today. But it's not so simple because you also have to accept the fact that people have to freely be able to buy and sell Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created as the people's movement of money, where people can decide what their currency is, and then they can start transacting with Bitcoin and own Bitcoin because they want to use it, but it's only free until it's not free to use. Canada really showed us the power and values of freedom because they started taking some of that away when it comes to cryptocurrency, because they started seizing people's cryptocurrency portfolios and taking it away from them. We've talked about cryptocurrency regulations happening overseas in countries like China and India, but now we're talking about our neighbor to the north, Canada. And this naturally has the United States also wanting to create more regulations over cryptocurrency, because if you cannot control the monetary supply as the government, then you also lose your power and your control over people. So naturally, we've talked about this before, the government does not want to lose their power over people, which means they want to maintain their control over the money supply. And this is happening at the exact same time where we're seeing real-world applications of cryptocurrency as Ukraine is fundraising their war operations through cryptocurrency. So to really understand what's going on with cryptocurrency right now, there's 4 things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about rules and freedoms with cryptocurrency, more specifically talking about what happened in Canada. Then I want to talk about how cryptocurrency is changing. And then I want to talk about how cryptocurrency is playing a part overseas. And then I want to talk about what all this means and what you should be doing with your money right now. So let me start by talking about number 1. Sometimes we forget how lucky we are in the United States, because the United States is the freest country in the world. And you start to see the powers of that when you look at some of the other countries that aren't as free. So Canada, for example, had some very strict vaccine requirements, and this had some truckers protesting. Now, whether or not you believe in vaccines, it's up to you. It's your right to believe whatever you want, but you had some truckers that did not like this mandate, and so they started protesting. When these protests started to happen, people were donating money to the truckers, that way they could continue protesting, and the Canadian government did not like that, so they froze the bank accounts and they froze some of these fundraising efforts so the truckers could not get these dollars. That's when the truckers moved to cryptocurrency and they started soliciting donations in the form of crypto. The Canadian government didn't like that the protests were opposing what the government wanted to do, so they declared a national emergency. That way they could override some of their laws, and that way they could seize bank accounts and seize money. And they also used this national emergency to then seize people's crypto wallets. The reason why this is so concerning, whether you're a crypto investor or not, is you don't want the government to decide when they can just seize your property. You don't want the government to say that they can just come in and take your cryptocurrency away from you, or that they can come and just take your money out of your bank account, or that they can just come and take your car out of your driveway if they don't like what you're doing. There should be some sort of due process to really take your property away from you. But the reason why it becomes so concerning when you talk about cryptocurrency, because this is exactly what cryptocurrency was trying to go against. Cryptocurrency was aimed as giving more power and freedom to the user, the people, because now you're not controlled by one central agency, you're not controlled by one central government, you're not controlled by the central banks. You control the money. The money supply and the users are controlled by the same people, the actual people that use Bitcoin. But now the government came in and they started seizing it from people, which has people wondering what's going to happen if you see more widespread adoption of cryptocurrency and people start moving away from the dollar, and then governments start losing their power over people. Would they just come in and force you to sell your cryptocurrency, or could they potentially seize your cryptocurrency? We've seen similar things happen in the past. When the United States government started to shift away from the gold standard, they didn't want you to use gold. They wanted you to use the United States dollar. So what they did was they made it impossible for you to transact with gold, because they made it illegal for you to own gold, and they started seizing your gold. If you owned gold in the United States, the government would seize it from you. Now, none of this should really come as a surprise, because most people who've been enthusiastic and excited about cryptocurrency have known that cryptocurrency, once it starts to grow and be more widely adopted, it is going to pose more threats to governments, and that's when governments are going to start creating regulations. That's why some of the biggest cryptocurrency holders in the world have said that they are going to need some sort of regulation over cryptocurrency. That way you can see widespread adoption, because once the governments feel okay that they're regulating it to some extent, then people can freely own it and not have to worry about government control. This is why we're seeing debates in Congress right now with the United States government trying to decide how much to regulate cryptocurrency and when to do it. So these are things you want to be aware of. And just to kind of protect yourself, this is another reason why you might want to consider having a cold wallet to protect your cryptocurrency. A cold wallet is an external USB drive that holds on to your cryptocurrency, because now it's not on the cloud, it's held in your USB drive, and you can take it completely off of the internet and you can protect your cryptocurrency. That way nobody can come in from the internet to try to hack or steal or seize your cryptocurrency, because it'll be in your wallet, and then you can put this wallet somewhere safe. You can put this USB somewhere where no one can see and is safe somewhere. That way nobody can access it to protect your money. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide that goes over what passive income is, how to start generating passive income, and different passive income strategies. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.